welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin and today I'll be giving you guys my 8-month pregnancy update. So today I am 36 weeks and 1 day, which means I have officially entered my last month, my 9th month of pregnancy. I cannot even believe it. Like, it's surreal that I am almost done. It's insane. So I will be going over, I believe it's, let's see, I wrote it down, weeks 32 to 35, since I just entered my 36th week. So I'm going to be giving you guys all my updates on my body changes and symptoms and things that have been going on. And at the end, of course, I'll be showing you guys a bump date because I am huge. So I honestly can't even imagine fitting anything else in here, which is just crazy to me that I still got a few weeks to go. But anyways, if you guys are new to my channel, I am pregnant with my first baby. I am expecting a boy with my husband and we are so over the moon excited. This has been such a fun journey. I have been filming these updates for you guys every single month to give you just little updates on how the pregnancy has been going for me and the changes and symptoms that I have personally been experiencing, and it's just been really fun to document. I love watching these videos myself to see other mamas who are pregnant around the same time that I am because it makes me feel less alone. I've just been loving again, filming these videos and watching these videos, and so I hope that these help you guys, whether you are expecting or pregnant or wanting to be pregnant and curious what it looks like. I do always like to give a disclaimer. If you guys have never seen these types of videos before, this in no way is me just sitting here and complaining about being pregnant. I am so excited to be pregnant. I feel so grateful, so blessed. I know that it is honestly a gift from God, and I have been really loving it and enjoying it. But I do want to be honest with you guys about the things that go on and just be real with you guys about the not so fun parts of pregnancy. Okay, so if you guys are interested to see how my week 32 to 35 was, then just keep watching. All right guys, so I keep my stuff in my notes in my iPhone. I track all of the symptoms month by month. So I'm gonna start with week 32. The first thing is fatigue definitely has come back. It started in week 32 and I feel like has just continued to get more and more as we've approached the end of this pregnancy. And just, it's really tough to have motivation to get up and do things and walk and all that stuff. So fatigue has been a little crazy. I, of course, am still trying to be active. I try to go on my daily like 30 to 45 minute walk with my dog. I am trying to walk around the house and not just like lay on the couch or the bed or anything like that. Obviously I am still working full time, and so I'm still staying pretty busy, but yeah, the fatigue is really hard. And I think, so I am in Texas, and if you guys know, summer is super hot here, and so I think that the heat also has to do with the fatigue as well. Like, I just like walk outside and I get drained all of a sudden, so that's probably a huge factor. Next up, in 32, I started to experience some nausea in the morning and the evening. It was really a bit of a bummer. I was not a fan of nausea in my first trimester, and I didn't really experience it too much after that. And then all of a sudden, like week 32, and I'm just like feeling a little queasy, just like an upset stomach, just nauseous, and it was definitely not very fun. Obviously eating helped quite a bit, and so I definitely recommend that. If you're nauseous, don't not eat because that makes it worse. But it was just something that I deal with. It wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't having morning sickness or anything like that, but nausea definitely came back. I also experienced a little bit of dry mouth that week, so I think maybe it was just due to like not drinking enough water, especially since it's been hot outside. But I just felt like I could not get enough water, and it just felt dry and it was super annoying. So yeah, I have in all caps, very hormonal and anxious. Like, whew, y'all, I was a mess. Like, I feel like it's gotten a little bit better these last couple weeks, but like week 32 and 33, oh my gosh, I have just been very hormonal, and like my anxiety has been through the roof. I dealt with a good amount of anxiety before pregnancy, but definitely manageable. And then I got pregnant, and everybody says that you're hormonal, and I experienced like a little bit, mostly just like emotional, like, you know, a little bit more sentimental and crying at things easily, but not like crazy. But then 32 hit, and it's like, oh, so this is what everybody's talking about, pregnancy hormones. It was really rough. It was really like up and down. Little things that my husband said, that other people said, would really get to me that wouldn't normally get to me as much. And I was having a really hard time dealing with my reactions and emotions to that. And I was crying a lot. It was really tough just to maneuver and like not feel like I'm a crazy person. It was just really tough. I, of course, apologized a million times to my husband for all of that, and he was super understanding and has been super understanding, so I'm very grateful for that. But it was definitely not fun to deal with in the moment. Just I hate that feeling of just super, like, I don't know, aggressive anxiety. Like, yeah, it's definitely been one of the hardest things of my 8th month of pregnancy, was just the hormones and anxiety that I was dealing with, just over everything. It's been trying times over here with this pregnant woman, so I'm doing better, but it was tough there for a sec. Acid reflux, really, really bad. So, like, that's when you're waking up in the middle of the night with some like stuff coming up in your throat, and it's just, ugh, it's the worst. You like don't throw up, but you basically sort of threw up, and it's like it's all stuck in there, and it's so hard to get that taste out and to like clear your throat, and it's disgusting, and it wakes you up at night, and it takes forever to go back to bed, and makes you just feel so uncomfortable. And so like as soon as you lay down, like it just like the sensation comes back up. And so I've had to start some nights sleeping pretty elevated to avoid that acid reflux. So like a bunch of pillows keeping me up so that the acid reflux is not too bad. Obviously Tums have been so great, so I still swear by my naturals Tums, like the black cherry and watermelon flavor. Those have been my favorite, and have been really helpful. So, and also not eating like right before bed. There's a few things that can be helpful that you guys can look up, but I thought I was good there for a little bit, and then it came back in full force, and it's still happening. So yeah, pretty bad acid reflux. Next is so funny, hair growth. So I feel like my whole body is covered in hair. Specifically like my belly and like, yeah, my belly and my back, I just feel like has like hair everywhere, and it's like super annoying, not cute. Definitely makes me feel self-conscious, especially since it's summer and I've been to the pool and things. And so I looked it up. It's totally normal, definitely due to hormones, and it's not gonna last forever. But it's not cute, and it's one of those things that's like, nobody told me about this. I will say a positive is that I feel like I've had really clear skin. I no longer have like the back knee that I had, which I talked about last time, and my face has been really clear, like not too like, I mean, there's so many things not going well with me right now, right? So I gotta give credit where it's due, and that is my face. I've had like 0 blemishes, which is nuts. Especially in the summer, that's when I normally get really oily and experience more breakouts, and I have not had any, and I just have been way more confident, I guess, in my skin, the way that it is, as far as like blemishes and pores and all that goes. So I've been really happy about that. I'm sure that also has to do with the fact that I'm still working from home, so I still don't put makeup on most days of the week, other than like going to church and when I see friends a couple times a week. But yeah, it's definitely been a perk. I will say though that when it comes to my skin, I've had a lot more pigmentation though. So I have freckles. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell in the viewfinder because of the brightness in my makeup, but you guys can look at some of my previous videos of me doing my makeup with, so you can see no makeup on, and I have a good amount of freckles, and I feel like they've gotten very, very pigmented and like more condensed. And so I don't know if like there's a little bit of melasma mixed in there, which I know can happen in pregnancy, or if just my freckles are just more pigmented than normal. I try to keep it covered from the sun and wear like hats or visors when I'm walking or at the pool to minimize that. But it's definitely like my freckles are way more out than they normally are. Like if you even like even in the summer, like last year, I would have more freckles come out because I'm in the sun, but they're not as dark as they are now. So, I mean, it's not anything that's like, I think is ugly. It's just something that's like interesting that happens. And so they're just more dominant now and come through my makeup now, which is fine. But yeah, just one of those things that I thought I'd mention. I also have been dealing with a little bit more like flush cheeks, like redness underneath that as well, which is a little bit of an annoyance. I'm sure that has to do with the increased blood flow, and also because it's hot outside and I get hot really easily, and so my cheeks get really flushed. So sometimes it's not a good combination when I got the redness and all the really pigmented freckles everywhere. It doesn't look, you know, like that really nice smooth canvas that some people have, but at least I have clear skin, so I'll take it. So moving on to week 33 is I got a stretch mark on my belly. So I think I mentioned this before, but I've gotten a good amount of stretch marks on my breasts. Like, whoa, like I remember seeing like the first one and then the next one, and then it just blew up. So my boobs have gotten so much bigger with pregnancy, and it's really hard for you to tell because, you know, my belly's so big. It's like the proportions don't really look that different. But when I tried on my old bra, I was like, oh my gosh, they've grown tremendously, which is crazy. And so because of that, they got stretched out a ton, and I was not expecting it, but I have stretch marks everywhere on my boobs, mostly right on the bottom, but there is a little bit on the top as well. So that's basically what I've had in pregnancy so far. And I think I mentioned that I had one like on my hip thigh area, like below my bikini line on the corner of my leg. So I had one of those, and then, but none on my belly. But week 33 is when I found my first one on my belly. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's coming. So I still don't have a ton on my belly. Since the week 32, I've gotten, I want to say like 2 more. So they're very faint, and they're just like on the bottom portions of my belly. So nothing like directly in front yet. I feel like I see some coming around my belly button, but they're not like there for sure. And you know, that's just one of those things that happens. And so I still put my belly oil and my belly butter on every single night and try to stay hydrated and all of that. But just one of those things that you can't really completely control or prevent. It's just gonna happen if it happens. And so yeah, so recap, lots of stretch marks here, got a few on my belly, and now I think I have like 2 or 3 like on my top of my thighs. So it's just hopefully going to fade one day, and they're just going to be little reminders of me carrying my children, and that's okay. It's just part of who I am now. Now, week 33 was really hard because I got sick, and I was sick for like a week and a half. So it went from week 33 into week 34, and we don't really know what it is. It started off with like a postnasal drip, and then it turned into like swollen throat, stuffiness, congestion, cough, sneezing. It was just rough, and I thought it was just allergies at first, but I went into an urgent care, and they tested me for flu, strep, and COVID, and I was negative for all of those things, which praise God. But so they think it's some sort of like upper respiratory infection thing that I had. A lot of that's been going around, and so I think I got it from some of my friends and students from our church that I serve at, and it's okay. I was fine. It just really sucked because you already have a lot more fluid in your body, and you also have more thickened mucus in pregnancy, and so I think it just like aggravated it. And allergies are really bad, and it was summer, so it was humid, and it was just like not a good mix for me. And so that was like a good week and a half that I was on the struggle bus, like having to take cough drops, which are disgusting to me. I tried allergy medicine, that didn't really help, and this is all approved by my doctor, by the way, like my OB. I asked her everything. She eventually prescribed me with a Z-Pack, which is really what nipped it in the butt. I tried to go without any medication for like a week, and it was just like getting worse, and that's when she gave me the Z-Pack, and it helped a ton. So whew, that was a rough time for me because I was just like in bed, miserable. I hated that I wanted to get up and do things and nest, but I was just like so sick. So I definitely stayed home from like church and stuff for a while till I got better because I didn't want to get any worse. So I made it through, but being sick when you're pregnant, especially 8 months pregnant, no fun. I also noticed I started to swell just a teeny bit in my ankles and legs and feet. Nothing crazy, but I'm just like, oh, they've gotten a little bit bigger, but nothing like super notable like they are now, which we'll talk about. But I noticed a little bit of swelling. And then also at the end of week 33, I had my maternity photo shoot. So if you guys have not seen those photos, I'll go ahead and insert them now. But my sister, she's a photographer, and she was so gracious and took those photos for us. We did sunrise photos at a beautiful park, nature place near us, and it was so special. Just getting to capture those photos and the excitement that my husband and I have for our little son, who will be here soon. And they turned out wonderful. She's super talented, and they just were just so great to have as a memory and to look back on and to show our son one day of what he looked like in mommy's belly. If you guys are curious, I'll link my dress down below. It's from Amazon. It was super cheap and it was really comfortable, and I thought it was really, really cute. But yeah, that was super fun. Then we get into week 34. I told you I was still dealing with some sickness. I then felt my first leg cramp in the middle of the night. So like a Charlie horse that apparently happens in pregnancy. I woke up and like, not screamed, but like raised my voice like ow, like really loud, and I had to jump out of bed. I like was stretching my feet and it was like my right calf or something, and it, ooh, I haven't had a Charlie horse since I was a young kid. And yeah, so that was a little rough. I haven't had like a full-on Charlie horse like that since, but I have had like some mild leg cramping where I'm like, okay, stretch it out before it turns into a Charlie horse. So just one of those things that I have to be careful of. I need to make sure I'm drinking my magnesium, eating enough potassium, all of that, and staying hydrated. But I know some people can deal with them a ton, but I just felt one that night, and it was you know, not great. I was also experiencing some significant low back pain, which I believe is sciatic pain. It wasn't as bad as it was the following week, but yeah, so some low back pain, like with low right back and sort of radiating. And so it would just come and go. It's something I mentioned before in some other updates, and so it definitely came back. And it's just hard because you're walking and putting pressure on, like as soon as I put pressure on my right foot, I get that shooting pain sometimes, and it's like, and so it's super annoying and not comfortable, but it has to do with the baby's just putting pressure on that sciatic nerve, because he's getting bigger and he's going more down, and yeah, it's just one of those things that happens. So the back pain was a little uncomfortable. I also experienced my very first lightning crotch sensation, which is a good sign because that means that the baby is moving down. But you can look at lightning crotch. It really is exactly what it sounds like. It's like a bolt of like a little lightning shock from like my uterus down to my crotch. So it's so weird. It hurts. It definitely makes me say ow, like really loud. It is not comfortable. It's not like a little, oh man, that sucks. It's like a ow. So I experienced my very first one, and I was like, ooh, here we go. We're getting closer. So it was actually honestly exciting to feel that for the first time, because that just means that you're getting closer to meeting your baby. And then I will say I got a boost of energy towards the end of that week. When it comes to nesting, I've been going crazy, organizing the nursery, doing freezer meal preps, which you guys will see on my channel. And I've just been going full throttle, trying to get ready for this baby to be here. So it was right after I got done being sick. I was like, great, I'm back to it. And so I got that boost of energy, still dealing with a ton of fatigue in between, but I'm like, we need to get things done. So I have been back up on my feet, and probably need to chill out some days. But yeah, I get a ton. My husband's helping me. He's like, you need to rest now. You've already made a couple meals. Like, go ahead and relax. Let's try some tomorrow. So he's helping me pace myself. But I just have that urge to get everything ready. So nesting is like at an all-time high. I felt like I was nesting before, nowhere near what I'm nesting now. So that's okay. It's gonna be worth it when the baby gets here and I have things ready, so it's fine. Okay, week 35, my last week. So the biggest thing that I dealt with is the worst sciatic nerve pain ever. It had me like, ooh, like I can't even explain. My husband has had to help me get out of bed, or I was on the ground, he has to literally help me up because I've been dealing with that shooting pain. It was almost debilitating where I'm like, I can't even walk. He's had to take my dog on a walk for me a couple times. I mean, our dog is our dog, but like normally I'll go in the morning and he'll go in the afternoon. That's just how we do it. But he's had to take over some of my morning walks in week 35 because I was in so much pain. The worst shooting pain from that nerve area down my leg, but it's mostly like in my hip butt area. And so like I literally have been only able to sleep on my left side because if I sleep on my right side, it's more pressure and more pain after I get up. I have to be very careful on how I sit down, on how I get up. Going to the ground is really hard. Like sitting on the ground is very, very uncomfortable because I can't really find like a good spot. Like so going in certain angles and stuff just is just not good, guys. This has been really bad. I was looking things up, like really worried, like do I need to go to the doctor? But it seems totally fine. He's just getting bigger. He's moving more down. And it's only temporary. It will definitely get better once he arrives. And so I'm just trying to push through it. The main thing that has been helping me is icing it. Because it gets inflamed. Mostly when I'm on my feet and moving and bending a lot is when it'll get more aggravated. So I definitely have felt that icing it has been very, very helpful. Just let it chill out and not be so inflamed and hurt so bad. So sciatic nerve pain is no joke. I probably could go to a chiropractor or physical therapist, but I'm like, I'm already almost towards the end. Like, what's the point? Let me just deal with it. And then next, I've been dealing with a ton of Braxton Hicks this 35th week of pregnancy, like a ton, all the time during the day. It's essentially like a tightening. It's not like painful. It's uncomfortable. Just like my stomach gets really like tightened and strong and just like almost like as hard as a rock. And they have been increasing like every single day, like the frequency of them. And it's just super intense. Like I'll be like, Christian, feel my belly. And it's like, dang, it feels like a rock. I'm like, I know, I'm having a Braxton Hicks. So they've been coming a ton. Like the other night I started to put them into my contractions app on my phone just to like practice timing them. I know that they're not labor contractions. I know they're Braxton Hicks. But I was just curious. And they were coming like very often, like maybe like 5 in an hour or so, which is a lot. And then also with my 35th week of pregnancy, I started to lose some more of my mucus plug. So I lost it last month, like officially, and it put me on like pelvic rest from my OB and stuff, and it was really scary. I was like, oh my gosh, is pregnancy happening? But there was no blood in it, so that was a good sign. And so I just a few days ago started to lose a little bit more over a couple days. No blood still, so we're still fine. But we're getting close to baby being full term anyway, so I'm not concerned about it. But yeah, I've definitely lost a few more pieces of my mucus plug. A couple other random things that just happened in this month of pregnancy. My linea nigra line has still gotten a lot more dark. You'll be able to see that with my bump date. And also I feel like this last week he started to drop a little bit lower, which again you'll be able to see on my bump. So I think that aligns with, you know, the lightning crash that I felt. And maybe just like more Braxton Hicks and stuff. And also I have just been so excited for the day that I get to meet my baby. So, you know, I go through phases of like super anxious, really scared, nervous, all of that. But I would say like this last week, like the 35th week, all I've had is excitement and just like anxious to meet him. And so I'm just so excited for that to come, and I've just been in a great mood. My husband and I are just so excited and just keep talking about I can't wait to meet him, I can't wait to meet him. So yeah, it's just super exciting. So yeah guys, that is my overview of my 8th month of pregnancy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe you guys will see one more. My 9-month, technically it's weeks 36 to 40 is your last month, and so I don't know. like we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on how I am doing. You can definitely follow me on Instagram so you can see a little bit more up to date. Things on what's going on in my life, I'll probably announce on there that I'm in labor first than YouTube. So make sure it's just Life by Devin. You can check it out. And also make sure to like this video if you enjoyed these little updates. I'll make sure to link my previous updates down below if you have not watched those. And also subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already as well. That way you guys don't miss any of my future videos. I have a ton more coming your way. And so make sure to keep an eye out on that. And I'm just looking forward to all the motherhood content and stuff for after baby gets here as well. But before I end this video, let's go ahead and do a little bump date. Alright guys, that is the end of my video. Thank you again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.